So I would just think, okay, when you're on Instagram and you're going through and you've got these people and maybe you're tracking it somehow, just, if they like one of your posts, that's the biggest thing, is communicate with people who are liking and commenting, because they're seeing your stuff and for whatever reason they're interested. Even if they just hit that little heart, I would just be like, thanks for the love on my post. I so appreciate it. Are you on a fitness journey too? Even things like that start a conversation. And you know what? If people don't message you back, you keep moving. That's the biggest thing. I don't know if you've read the book, Get Over Your, we don't say words like this in our house, but Get Over Your Damn Self. It is such a good book. It's not necessarily geared for our business, but I think it's helped me to realize, like, just go with that person and move on. Yes, we sometimes put all our hopes and dreams on that one person we think would be amazing, but maybe it's not that person and we need to just keep moving on. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. Coaching in real life is my puppy. My daughter brought her to me because, of course, that's very important right now. So Michelle.
I have a few things to add. First, I'm 41 too, so don't use that age thing as an age. And I do build mostly. So Danielle just gave you some great tips about Instagram. For Facebook, you said you just started. So you've got to build up that network. So adding your focus in the beginning, after you've been through your warm market, maybe you've got to double, triple those friend requests and building rapport with people, those new people, turning those. And that's another question somebody had. How do I attract cold market? What's my scripts for cold market? I don't send cold market invites, and I'll let you add to that. But I find new people, I build rapport, I turn those cold leads into my warm market, and then I invite. So you're still that's where you're at on Facebook. You've got to spend some extra time adding more people. That's where your chunk isn't sending invites right now in this beginning. And the fact that you want to grow, you need some money now, that means you got to send more and do build that rapport more and faster. That's for Facebook. Instagram, she's spot on. You can be a little bit less personable. You can send, be a little bit more bold. Send out some, she gave you the Instagram part. I'm giving you the Facebook part. Did that make sense? Questions, Danielle? Anything to add to that?
I would say on Facebook too, groups are a great way to find new friends and connect with people. I have added so many people to my network, friends of people you're close to that, you knew. I loved, if you haven't gone into the units in the group, there was one in, it's Recruiting Like a Boss, I think it was called. I just watched that video yesterday. Let me double check that I have the name of that right. Yeah, it's Recruiting Like a Boss. It was really good. I'm not necessarily a cold inviter, but I'm getting a little more bold because I just feel like, why the heck not? If we can do it the right way and not just be spammy about it. Guys, you know how to not be spammy. We know what we don't like getting in our inbox. But just some love from someone, even if they're part of another MLM, I don't mind that at all. So give people some love and ask them about themselves. People love talking about themselves. Go to their pages, see what they're interested in. Did you go on a vacation in the same place? Find some talking point and just say something. It doesn't have to be anything about Beachbody at first, but you've got to start talking to more people. That is the biggest thing. I'm not finding, I'm not hitting Success Club. I'm not having people in my challenge group. My warm market is, people aren't interested. Yeah, they know me and they say, good for you. Give me a pat on the back. You have to talk to more people. And I know that sounds so easy. It is hard. But you have to find people. It is your job to find more people. There are so many people out there. When I hear people say, well, it's just tapped out. The market's tapped out. There's too many Beachbody coaches. It's ridiculous. Because somehow all of the top coaches are hitting, Success Club 300. What the heck is that? Do you know what I mean? That the market is not tapped out. You just have to keep looking for your people. They are out there. So other ways to expand your network is, Facebook does suggestions, friend suggestions, going through A to Z messaging. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before on Facebook. Go through your entire friends list, guys. Even if you say, well, I only have 200 friends. Go through and just see. Some people are going to be like, yeah, no, I don't want to talk to them. That's okay. But some people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to that person yet. Or, wow, I totally let the ball drop on that. Or, oh, maybe this person would just, want to rekindle a friendship. Like, talk to more people. It's your job.
I did the A to Z. That's how I made my big chunk list. Actually, on your Power Hour, I think on Wednesday, I just went through my friends list prior to that because you said bring a list. I'm like, okay, I don't know what list was. So I went through all my friends' people. I just, you don't see them. You see the same like 20 people that like your stuff, and I never see anybody else. I was like, I don't even remember why we're friends or who you are, but hey, let's throw this out there.
We got lots more questions, so we're going to move on a bit here. And addressing that A to Z, that was actually I already forgot the other question, but I'm going to read the next question, Danielle. And Facebook, we're off of Facebook. I just posted the link. It wasn't working. So she said, what do you do when someone from Instagram wants to join a group, but they don't have Facebook and the group is on Facebook?
I have a solution for that. I always have a My Challenge Tracker app group going. And that way, even if it's not the exact group, I already have a community that's built up there. And if you might have to start building it, but I always have an app group just to offer to somebody. Because I run into that all the time on Instagram now. And I was like, the My Challenge Tracker app is the way to go. So I call it my Abundant Life Fit family. And I just dump people in there. I have, I have coaches in there. So there's constant interaction and engagement, and people can get plugged in right away. It might not be the exact group, but I always tell them, oh my goodness, you know what? You might not be on Facebook and be able to do this exact group this time, but I have an incredible community I can plug you into. This will be an awesome solution for you. And just build it up, tell them what they're going to get from it. So Michelle?
Same thing. I do have a challenge, but since I build mostly through Facebook, most of my people but I do have that option for them. And then I have a lot of people that create accounts just to be in the group. Some of them will even create bank accounts that aren't even, their real name and stuff, just to partake in the group. So you can always give that as an option. They don't have to. And the groups are just extra. Like I tell, this is where our community is, this is where our support is, but it's up to you. So yeah, I don't have much to add there. Next question. Are we good to keep moving?
Misty said what if your challenges are super quiet in the challenge group, like in the challenge tracker group? You can message them and reach out. That's one thing I've kind of let go of, as far as I don't pit someone's success on myself, because a lot of times I'll have people fall off, and I used to take it really personally, like, wow, I'm a bad coach if these people aren't sticking with it. We have to give them our time. We have to give them our energy, and we can engage with them. We can do fun challenges, but really in the end, it's on them. And if they're ready or not, and if they're going to engage. And sometimes those quiet people are still seeing the posts and getting encouragement from it, and it's still a community for them. And so don't discount that part of it as well. But yeah, don't put so much pressure. And if you need people who will show engagement in your group, get some of your coaches in there with you. They already know how to log, and they're probably, it's good for them, especially new coaches. It's good for them to see and practice and see, hey, this is how the Challenge Tracker app works. So yes.
And then same thing about Facebook and a coach. If they're a coach and they're not on Facebook, I do encourage them to, because I tell them all of our stuff is on Facebook, but some of them won't, and they really become more of a discount coach, and that's kind of what they want in the beginning. So it also depends on what type of coach. If they want to build this business, then I tell them, yeah, you got to get an account and get in our group at least. How do you go from rapport to invite without sounding salesy? So that's gonna be different on Instagram than Facebook. For me, I take my time. So I'm a turtle, and I know this is a push right here. So, and there was a coach call, there was a national wake up call, and she did the invite in the very first message. And this is what I'll say. This business takes some trial and error. And sometimes you may push and be too salesy, but always go back and read your messages and learn and see, are they responding? Are you getting the same objection? You will learn that balance. So for me personally, I like at least two history of conversation with somebody before I put an invite out there. And I'm just now realizing I've been a coach for coming up in 2 days, tomorrow, 8 years. I am just now figuring out that for Facebook and for my niche, when it comes, and that's for challenge groups, like the 2 conversations, for my niche, I attract, like I was a marathon runner already in shape, super skeptical, like I would have never done this. I got my thing going. For my niche and for coaching, like I think I need to up that to probably 6, because looking back and reviewing the people that I've brought into this business that are successful, for me, it took me probably 6 months or a year to recruit them, and they joined with me instead of all these other coaches who used to come and invite them all the time, because I took that time and built that rapport. So that's something you're going to have to figure out for you. Your niche may be more, not as skeptical and join quicker or whatever. So that's my answer is slow, but that doesn't mean you stop recruiting, because I went through a push just like this, and I did things and sent invites too early and got the no's, and I could see I learned through that. So don't be afraid to take action. The only thing you can do in this business that's wrong is take no action. Take action and learn from it. Danielle, go, because I've changed.
I think that how to go from rapport, to invite without sounding salesy is ask a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
The more you can find out about someone, the easier it will be to connect them from A to, G in the alphabet. And, I'll be honest too, I've kind of gotten to the point in my business where and I love how you say you're a turtle and slow, because I feel like lately I'm like, turbo jet! Because I feel like I was always taught, okay, don't mention the price right away when somebody asks you or messages you about more info. And I just feel like, you know what, let's take care of those objections right away here. And so I just fire away. If they ask me a question, hey, what do you do in your challenge groups? I'm like, bam, let's get this out in the open, and then we can work on, because I just feel I'd rather like tackle it head on than tiptoe around things anymore. Because if someone's going to have an objection, I can work on that as we go. But that doesn't mean that you're not listening. I think the biggest thing you can do is ask more questions and get them talking and figure out where they're coming from, their struggles, so that you can connect. Here's, when they have that objection, I'm telling you, Christine Dwyer said the feel, felt, found. This is how, I feel, this is what I felt, and this is what I found worked for me. And connecting them to your story helps so much. But ask lots of questions, because the more questions you ask and the more you learn about them, the more you can connect and say, oh my goodness, I have 3 kids too. Oh, do you ever find like it's crazy? Or do you work out? I was just thinking about how hard it is to work out with my kids around. It's so crazy. I don't know, like think of ways to just connect to real life scenarios that you can start those conversations and get them going.
So I have to read what Melanie wrote because it was spot on too. And of course, Danielle is spot on. Of course, you can't send the right message to the wrong person. You can't send the wrong message to the right person. Make it personable, know your heart, and send it. Amen. I love that. Thank you, Melanie. And then there's more questions rolling in here. You want me to read the next one, Danielle?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I struggle with the want more details message me to them saying, yes, more info, please. What is the cost? The transition is the hard part. I say, sure, please fill out the application so I can get more details to you. I'm like Danielle, when they ask a question, I answer it. I don't beat around the bush. Like answer the question and then take them to the next step. We have that 5-step process, whatever. Like I still move on. I still move the conversation on to the next step, but I do answer their question. Danielle, I'll let you.
Okay, so yeah, if someone says, yes, more info, please, what is the cost? I try and start off by communicating my excitement. Like I will just send them a voice message. I'm so glad you're excited about this. I would love to have you a part of this group. Oh my goodness, this is going to be awesome. Let me get you some details so you can know how to figure it out and make it work. Because I want you in this group and I know it's going to be awesome for us to do this together. Okay, voice messages are so great, because then they can hear you and feel your genuine excitement. I love voice messages to people. I think it's so great. And even the messes that come up, the blunders that you say, that just communicates you're real and genuine.
I do videos too.
Oh yeah, videos. People freak out when you send them a video and message. They're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you can do that? That's so cool. I love seeing your face. Thanks for talking to me. It's just one way that you're being personal with them, and you're not just copy and pasting something. Even if you have something you copy and paste, guys, that's okay. But you can, show your excitement to them. So then I would say, okay, here's the deets for the group. Are you ready? This is going to be so awesome. I'll help you figure it out, and we're going to do this together. And then I would just fire off. I would fire off the details. I would fire off, but I would also not just slam the price down and walk away. I would break down the value of what they're getting. And I always say, because it's true, the bundle all access challenge pack is always on sale. It is a sale, okay? So I always mention this month, this bundle kit is on sale. It's so awesome because they're giving you all the tools for a discount. How cool is that? And then I explain the value of each item, and I always add in, and you get me as a coach cheering you on. And, I do this, because I love seeing women succeed, and I just really talk it up, help them see that they can do this. Show them the value, connect it to their why, and help them realize I can succeed with you, because you're the real key. They can buy Shakeology from anybody, but you have to be the key that connects the dots.
Amen, sister. Okay, this next one, I'm going to kind of wrap up a few questions in one. And it's like I start talking and I forget what the question is. But it was a lot of like the price and what questions do I ask and this type of stuff. So I will say I'm always asking questions like Danielle. And it's, and it depends on what are they coming to you for? Like, what are you asking coach questions? Are they showing interest in the coaching? Are they showing interest in are you inviting them to a challenge group? Like, what are you inviting them to? But I'm always asking, how much time do you have to work out? Any aches or pains or injuries? What do you enjoy doing workout wise? What have you done in the past? What worked and didn't work, right? How's your nutrition? What's your biggest obstacle? So I'm asking those questions so that I can make a recommendation. So this moves into the next question of like, what pack do I recommend? Well, I don't know either. I have to ask questions to figure that out, which pack I'm going to recommend. Where are their struggles? What are their needs, right? You can't know that without asking questions. Then I recommend the pack that's the best option for them. And I break it down. Like I give them like 2 or 3, and I usually do this through a video or a phone call. So maybe it's 21-day fix or, I don't know, I'm trying to think, lift 4, right? So 21-day fix, lift 4, or it's usually like, I just narrow it down to 2 or 3. And I go through that. I explain like, which one sounds the best for you, right? Like which one, because you know your body best. I don't. And I let them choose. And then I break the cost down to that. I'm like, well, Lift 4 is not even on DVD anymore, right? So that's another question I asked. Do you have good Wi-Fi? Like these are all things you have to know before you make a suggestion, right? And I break that down. I go through like 21-day fix is, $60. The pack, right, is $160 if you got the DV. This case, you're getting everything. With Beachbody On Demand, you're getting access to everything for the same price, right? For the cost of just one program. You see the difference there? Like I break that down individually. It'd be over $250. I break all of that down when I go through the cost. And I give them options between, the basic pack, that $160, and then the best, the better, and good pack, right? I give them those options. If it's somebody who is starting with, they're just starting their fitness journey, I'm usually not going to recommend the performance line to them. They're just starting. But if I have somebody who's doing a more, 21-day fix extreme, 80-day obsession, lift 4, I'm talking about those bigger packs, and I'm putting that out there. Let them decide. It's not your place to decide for them. Hopefully that helped and answered some questions there. Go ahead, Danielle.
I thought of one more too, just when you're starting with them. So say somebody says, hey, I saw that post you put up, or I see that you're involved in health and fitness. I see that you're a coach. If anybody like approaches you, the first thing I usually ask them is, hey, oh my goodness, I am so glad that you reached out. Why don't you tell me more about your journey? I would love to hear about you and, where you're at. So, I can, and I don't even necessarily say so I can help you better, but I just ask them right off the bat, hey, tell me your story. I want to learn more about you. And a lot of times people will open up right away. And guys, if you can get someone talking and sharing, like, make sure, first of all, you let them know, oh my goodness, thank you so much for that vulnerability. Like, I don't take that lightly. And I really appreciate that you're entrusting me with that. And I am so honored that you reached out to me. And now let's try and figure out some solutions, girl, because we can do this together. So I just try and, get them talking. So I hope that helped a little bit. I just thought of that, like ask them to share their story with you.
Yep, spot on. I'm constantly saying thank you so much for sharing throughout those questions. I'm going to let you take this next question, and then I'm going to move to the questions that I had before that people had posted.
Which one is it? Is it the Instagram one?
Correct. Yep.
Stop following someone if they don't follow back. Yep. Yeah. And honestly, we got to just let people go. Just unfollow them. It's not like it is what it is. Unfollow them and move on. If so, how long to drop them after engaging on their post with 5 likes? I mean, I don't know if there's a perfect number for this one, but I think it's like, you're like weak, you follow and unfollow, isn't it? I will admit I have someone that does this for me. Okay, invest in your business when you can. And this was finally the time. I had not invested in my business, but I have hired someone. If you want the info on that, they are building my Insta. It's exploding. I've had 3 challenge pack sales since I started with them, and it was just a few weeks ago. I would say that's a pretty good return for like right away, because they're finding like people I connect with and that are connecting with me right away. It's been pretty cool. So, but I would say, yeah, like you can't hold on to those people. If they're not following you, move on and find somebody else. I mean, and I'm not trying to say that like a crass way, like people don't matter, because they matter so much, but you've got to make time finding your people. So I would say move on and keep looking.
So last question, because it's, we're at 30 minutes, at least for Danielle. I wanted to ask this one while you're here. The other ones I think are fine, because I think we may have different approaches on this one. And we'll both answer. So somebody says, how do you communicate the breakdown coach advocate discount for people only wanting the discount when they see $160 one-time fee for the year plus the $15.95 month plus 97, the basically how do you break down the coach versus discount coach to somebody?
You want me to answer that first? Okay.
Well, I can answer, but I wanted to make sure you had time to answer.
It's 8:29. Okay, so my coach Johnny came up with this new, and Beachbody literally just put this out too, and we're like, did they hear us talking about it? So we have been talking to people about being referral coaches, because guys, who doesn't love a referral code? Like, come on, I'm a Stitch Fix crazy person. If I can get a referral code and I can give that to people, I'm going to talk about all the things. So if you have someone that loves Shakeology or, is like interested, okay, maybe I would definitely tell them, oh my goodness, girl, this is so cool. You can sign up as a referral coach. So you're working on your own journey. You're loving the products. You're getting them for a discount. And then if anybody asks you about it, you have a referral code that you can send them. And their coach link, of course, like that takes the pressure off. People are like, oh, because we're speaking their language. When you say discount coach, people freak out because they're like, I can't coach like you do. Oh my goodness, coach. The word coach freaks people out. So you call them a referral coach, and you're like, you're just working on your own journey, and you get a discount and you have a referral code. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's so cool. So that's what we've been doing lately. And I have a note that I send people that ask about discount coaching. I have been sending the same thing to people for years. It's a funny little note on my phone. It just lays out, okay, so it's pretty simple. You sign up to discount coach, but I've changed it now to referral coach. There's no sales requirements, which is fabulous. If anyone wants to order from you, awesome. You can of course make a commission, but it's not ever required or pushed. There's a $15.99 monthly coaching fee that goes to setting up and maintaining your websites. And then I've added in something about the My Challenge Tracker app that they get free access to. And you get a 25% discount on anything else you purchase. Easy peasy, girl. Like, I just keep it super simple and try and explain, like, this is, you're so funny. So yeah, I think that if we kind of take the pressure off, but also realize you have a referral code, because then they start out right away, not just discount coaching and sitting on their laurels, but they know, oh, if someone is interested, I have a referral code, but they're not having that pressure like, okay, I got to learn how to sell and all this stuff. It's kind of a nice transition because then if they use their referral code, you're like, hey girl, did you know you're coaching? That's all I do. Okay. And it's actually been working out pretty well. I had a girl go that I did this with that started. She's already an Emerald coach and she hit Success Club. Like that never happens to me with new coaches. So I was like, I love this. So I hope that helps.
And she can copy and paste that in the when we post the recording. Danielle can copy or send it to me. I'll copy and paste because you're heading to the beach.
Well, once we're on the road, like I can do that once we're on the road. We've got to drive.
The benefits of this business. So I will, and we're all going to have a different philosophy on this. And there's no right or wrong. I want to reiterate that there is never a right or wrong. So I kind of do a balance. Some people like attract a lot of discount coaches. Some people attract, like say no, like I kind of do a balance for me. And I always kind of still lead with the challenge, like a challenge pack as a customer, unless they're like already working out, already into fitness, then I lead with the coaching, right? But I present because she really asked about the cost and stuff. I present it just like I would a customer. I break down the cost so they see the savings. They see what a savings this is. And then let's say it's somebody that I do think would be a great coach. Then I just throw out that they're going to save, they're going to save about $15 a month because you have that $15, Shakeology is $130. And then you save, you have your $15 coach fee. And I explain like this is a business that goes towards the marketing, the training, the fact that they ship everything, right? They do returns and ship, like it goes towards all of that, right? For only $15 a month. That's crazy. And so you're basically saving about $15 a month, basically, instead of like the 30. Like I explained that and I give them the option. I don't pressure them. And then, so that's only for somebody who's into health and fitness, who I think would make a great coach. And I tell them like that passion, why they would be a great coach. I tell them I want them part of my team. Then the other one is that people, because if you sign up a person right in the beginning who's not interested in coaching, you're just giving your commission away. You're not going to be building, they're not going to be bringing in volume. So for those people, I usually go back and I will, if somebody's been on Shakeology for, and this is something since you're in a trying to push and sign up coaches right now. If I have somebody who's been on Shakeology for longer than 3 months, sometimes it's a year, 2 years, but longer than 3 months, and I'm doing a push like this, trying to hit my next rank or something, then I'll go back and say, hey, as a thank you for being such a loyal customer, I so appreciate you. How would you be interested in saving $15 a month on your Shakeology? It would be a win-win, and help me out. It'd be a win-win. And a thank you, or I can't remember how I word it because it's been a while since I've done this type of push. But I basically do it as a thank you. Like I offer it as a gift, as a thank you to them. Is that making sense? I can share that. So that's my breakdown of the coach versus the discount coach and the cost. Other questions, and Danielle, if you need to go, I totally understand. There's only like 2 more questions here.
I am going to reply. You guys are awesome. Like
Danielle's awesome, isn't she, guys?
Just jump all in. It's so worth it. Go all in. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. All right, I'm headed on vacation. Oh, my guys.
My question in advance would be, when should we need a call to action for a free challenge group, a Beachbody program challenge group, or coaching opportunities every month? So you need a calendar. You need to plan out your month. And I think there's a few samples. I do mine on paper, so I can't, well, I guess I could take a picture, but I'll post a few. Well, as leaders, I'll find because I know we have some. I'll post a few examples of a calendar, but you got to plan it out. So for me, and if somebody is showing interest, let's say it's the beginning of the month and this week you're promoting your challenge group and somebody's showing interest in coaching, it doesn't mean you can't send them a webinar about the coaching experience or a video about the coaching. So many people, like I know on my team, will wait and be like, well, we don't have a webinar until, this week. And I'm like, so like send them up, you can still send them the information, right? You can still even invite them into an older sneak peek, be like, hey, the sneak peek isn't active anymore, but here's the last sneak peek we did. Go in and watch these videos or go through the data, right? You can still share with them. So for me, I usually do 2 or 3 days a week at the max of promoting whatever is next coming up. So like the first week, maybe I'm starting a challenge group on this Monday. So the week before, I'm posting and sharing about the challenge groups. And call to actions, that could be, I wish Danielle was still here. It's going to probably be different on Instagram than Facebook. For me, I do probably maybe 2 or 3, and some people would say daily, but I do my personal page. So on your like page, you can be a little bit more bold, but I'm sharing stories. I'm sharing success stories. I'm not doing a hardcore call to action, if that makes sense at the end. Rather, I'm just sharing the journey, sharing, like I said, the before and afters and stuff like that. And then on 1 or 2 of those, I will do a blunt call to action, like ending it, like, who wants to join me? I have so many spaces left, or whatever type of post. Then the next week, like, so that, and then my challenge group started here on this Monday. And let's say I have a business webinar or a sneak peek this next Monday. So then I'm starting to post call to actions, and same thing, probably just 2, but I'm posting daily about how this business has blessed me, has helped me. And then for that week, and then maybe the next week is a free group. And then I'm posting about the free group that week. So is this making sense? And then I really hit it hard 2 or 3 days before. So that's another thing, like with I'm going to use the coach webinar or the sneak peek, because I find people, like, they'll invite to it on Monday and it's Sunday. That's too long. Like, just send them the webinar, send them the information, because they will still rewatch that live webinar or that sneak peek, because somebody has to be exposed to something about 6 times before they make a decision usually. So they're not just going to watch and be like, oh, I can sign up. No, some do, right? But so what if they watch and they sign up on Monday, then on Sunday, they can invite their few people to that and join in with you. So don't wait. Hopefully that's making sense. Is that helping? I'm going to answer this one last question, because I think we're done. Like, I don't see any questions coming in. Let me see. My biggest struggle is attracting new people. So many of my friends on social media are already with a coach doing programs or quit. I also try not to use my personal account much, but have separate Facebook and Instagram accounts. Currently seeing most action from Facebook, but it's the same people following. I think we covered that in the very beginning with Misty. Actually had the same questions similar to that. And really, like, that's going to be, like, if you've gone through your warm market, like I said, you got to add new people, constantly adding new people, building rapport with them and sharing. Like, that's just a matter of doing more finds. As far as Facebook, like, creating another account, I personally, like, it's important to be you. So when you create, like, why did you create another account? Like, if it's, so, like, that's what attracts people. That's what people are going to sign up with you because of you, not your Beachbody post or not your Shakeology or your before and afters, but them seeing your life and what you're doing. So it's really important. Like, I don't know why you would create another account, because you need to be sharing the same type of stuff. Especially if, like, for me, my niche, my what's important to me is family, faith, and fitness, right? So I share a lot of posts about my family and stuff, and that builds that connection, that builds that trust with people. So I think that's it. Hopefully that answered. Thank you, Heather. Okay, we're done. I don't see any more questions. So for those of you that showed up live, thank you so much. I know this is busy, like your schedules are busy. I want to reiterate too that power hours are Monday and Wednesday. And if you have, like, as you see us go through our power hours and you have some questions, like, oh, I really want to ask her this, then show up Friday to the Q&A. About if you have another question more specifically about how they run their business, or you notice this person really builds her business through the Instagram stories or whatever, then you can show up on Friday and ask further questions. I asked let's see here, so I can cross off and not bother you. I asked my Facebook, I don't know if you're even interested in, no. Hold on, I'm reading this last question. Can I tweak this to sound better? Let me know if you want more details. If not, please just let me know if you want to pass for now so I can cross you off my list. I asked my warm market, Facebook market, hey, I don't know if you're even interested in help with your health and fitness journey, but I thought I would extend an invite out to you regardless to my next challenge group, insert details. Don't get too many details. Just be like, and instead of challenge group, I would say, because they don't know what a challenge group, what's a challenge group? I'd name your challenge group, or my next online health and fitness group, or my next food, like learn how to eat, like whatever, like say what it is. And then I wouldn't insert the details because they don't need the details. Just see if they're interested. And then let me know if you want more details. If not, please just let me know if you want. And so that next message, I would wait, right? About, if you're not interested, let me know so I can cross you out my list. I would probably follow up like 3 times with them, if that makes sense. And then that last message could be, what you just sent. But no, that sounds great. Nothing wrong with that at all. I always find the word open is more helpful than interested. Yep, I like that, Laura, definitely. Okay, that's it, guys. You go have a blessed, amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week for our Power Hours and our next Q&A again. So bye, guys.